Listen close now, for this is a tale of darkness and light, of screams that echoed into silence, and of voices that finally answered. It began on a cold night when Maya Rodriguez pressed her face against the cracked glass of her bedroom window. Across the street, she watched something no soul should witness. Sergeant Marcus Webb, decorated officer of the law, dragging his wife Elena across their lawn by her hair. The clock showed 2 in the morning. Maya's hands trembled as she dialed those 3 numbers, 911, for the 4th time that month. But the voice on the other end knew her too well. "Ma'am," the operator sighed, "we've told you. Sergeant Webb's colleagues have investigated. There's nothing there." Then Elena's scream stopped. Just stopped. Maya hung up, her heart heavy with helplessness. She didn't know that in the darkness across the street, someone else was watching. Someone who'd been watching for 3 weeks. As Maya closed her curtain in defeat, her phone buzzed. An unknown number. A simple message. "You're not crazy. I hear her too. A friend. Let me take you back 6 months, child, to when Maya first moved to that quiet street." The first scream came on her 3rd night. She called the police, and 2 officers arrived, both Webb's partners. They smiled and said, "Domestic disputes happen, and the sergeant is under a lot of stress." 3 more times this happened over the following months. Each time, the same dismissal. So Maya became a detective of sorts. She started documenting everything. Audio recordings on her phone, photos of Elena's bruised face at the mailbox, and every timestamp written in a journal. She gathered her evidence like precious stones and took it to the police station. But the desk sergeant was Webb's best friend, and her report vanished like smoke. That night, Maya found a manila envelope on her doorstep. Inside were professional photographs, Webb beating Elena, each one dated and time-stamped. A note read, "You're not alone anymore. Keep your evidence safe. We'll need it." The jury. Now comes the part that breaks my old heart. Maya found Elena at the grocery store one evening, hiding behind sunglasses though the sun had set. Maya approached gently and showed her the photographs. Elena collapsed right there in the cereal aisle, tears flowing like rivers. 3 years of abuse, she confessed. 2 broken ribs from falling downstairs. A miscarriage from a beating. She tried to leave once, but Webb used his badge to have her arrested for assaulting an officer when she fought back. The charges disappeared, but the message was clear as crystal. Elena whispered, voice shaking. "He said if I ever try again, I'll disappear and no one will look for a crazy woman." She begged Maya to stop making reports. It only made Webb angrier. As Elena rushed away, Maya noticed something strange. A small camera hidden in the store's ceiling corner. Not a security camera. Someone was watching. Her phone buzzed. Now we have her testimony. Phase 1 complete. The jury. At midnight, Maya received instructions to meet at an abandoned community center. Her better judgment screamed no, but her heart said yes. In that dimly lit room, she met 3 souls who would change everything. Judge was a former FBI agent, fired for exposing police corruption. Clerk was a tech genius whose sister was killed by her cop boyfriend. Bailiff was a former Marine who lost his children when his ex-wife's police chief father falsified records. Together, they called themselves the jury, vigilantes who hunted abusers hiding behind badges. For 2 years, they've been building cases. Webb was their biggest target yet. Not just an abuser, but a teacher of other corrupt cops. Judge slid a folder across the table. Maya's hand shook as she opened it. Webb has done this to 4 women before Elena. 2 are dead, ruled suicides. 1 disappeared. 1 is in a psychiatric facility, deemed an unreliable witness. We have 6 weeks before he gets promoted to captain. Once that happens, he becomes untouchable. Will you help us? Maya wrestled with her choice all night. She was a social worker, a believer in the system, not a vigilante. But Judge showed her the truth of the system. Case files of abusive cops transferred instead of fired, victims threatened into silence, evidence that vanished like ghosts. Maya visited the psychiatric facility and met Rachel, Webb's 3rd victim. Rachel was a shell, rocking back and forth, whispering "no one believes me" over and over. Her medical records showed injuries from severe assault, but the police report claimed self-inflicted during a psychotic episode. Maya's hands trembled as she signed the jury's agreement. Judge revealed their plan, not to kill Webb, but something more permanent. We're going to make him feel exactly what his victims felt, utterly powerless, screaming for help with no one listening. Maya nodded. The line between witness and warrior had blurred forever. She was no longer just watching. She was fighting back. Clerk taught Maya the art of invisible eyes. Over 2 weeks, using her social worker credentials, Maya planted microscopic cameras and audio devices. She was invited to a police family barbecue. Friendly Maya, harmless Maya. She planted devices in Webb's car, his garage, his police locker. The jury's operation grew bigger than one man. They discovered a network of 12 officers covering for each other's domestic violence, evidence tampering, and brutality complaints. Bailiff trained Maya in self-defense. If this goes wrong, he said, you need to be able to run. During surveillance, they discovered Webb's promotion party was scheduled for exactly 5 weeks away. Judge revealed the real plan. We're not just exposing him. We're going to make him confess everything, live in front of everyone who protected him before the promotion. The mission was set. The trap was being built, and Webb had no idea the walls were closing in. The first strike came like thunder. Webb arrived at the precinct parking lot to find his police cruiser covered, completely covered, in printed transcripts. His own voice, every threat, every slur, every moment of abuse captured over 3 weeks. No one saw who did it. The clerk had disabled the cameras. Someone leaked photos to reporters before the department could clean it up. Internal Affairs had no choice but to open an investigation. Webb was put on administrative leave with full pay. He came home early, enraged. Elena locked herself in the bathroom while he paced and screamed about who's doing this. That night, through their hidden cameras, the jury watched Webb go to his basement. He opened a secret safe. Inside, burner phones cache, fake IDs, and photographs of Elena with crosshairs drawn on her face. Judge's voice crackled through Maya's earpiece. He's planning to kill her and run. We move to phase 2 now. They had 72 hours. Bailiff and Maya created a diversion. A fake tip about a disturbance 3 houses down. While Webb was summoned by his buddies to help, playing the good cop, Clerk remotely triggered Elena's phone with an emergency alert. Elena, terrified and confused, followed the text instructions to her back fence. Judge and Maya waited in a van. Elena resisted at first. Years of conditioning told her she couldn't escape. Maya showed her the photos of the safe, the crosshairs. He's going to kill you, tonight or tomorrow. We can't wait for the law. Come with us now. Elena climbed the fence. As they drove away, Webb came home early. The call had been shorter than expected. He found Elena gone and systematically destroyed the house. Then he made a phone call that chilled the jury's blood. She ran. Activate the protocol. I need her found in the next hour or we're all going down. Webb's entire network was about to hunt Elena citywide. The jury took Elena to a cabin 2 hours outside the city, owned by Judge's late mentor. Elena swung between relief and terror. Over the next day, with Maya's gentle support, Elena revealed the full truth on camera. Webb's first beating was on their honeymoon. She'd embarrassed him in front of his colleagues. The abuse escalated with each promotion. He forced her to quit her nursing job, isolated her from family who eventually stopped believing her, and controlled everything. The worst part, he made her watch as he destroyed evidence of other cops' crimes, bragging about his power. He said he was the law, and the law can't touch itself. Elena sobbed. I stopped being a person. I was just his thing. While Elena slept, Judge showed Maya police radio chatter. Webb had reported Elena as mentally unstable and dangerous, claiming she stole his service weapon. Every cop in the state was hunting Elena as a threat. We have 48 hours before they find this location. Phase 2 launched like a thunderbolt. Webb received a package, a USB drive containing video of his abuse, his corruption, his secret safe, all set to audio of Elena's testimony. But here's the beautiful trap. The video was encrypted and sent simultaneously to 47 journalists, 3 FBI field offices, and every officer in his precinct. The encryption key would automatically release in 96 hours unless Webb performed one action: confess publicly. A note read, "You have 4 days to tell the truth, Sergeant, or the truth tells itself. Your move." The jury. Webb spiraled into paranoia, fury, and desperation. He didn't know who was behind this. He suspected his own colleagues. His network started fracturing. But Webb made a choice. He went to his captain and confessed the abuse, claiming he was being blackmailed by a criminal organization. The captain, also corrupt, agreed to help hunt the jury. We'll make them look like the bad guys. By the time we're done, you'll be the victim. The police department held a press conference. Webb, looking haggard and sympathetic, claimed he was the victim of a domestic terrorist group targeting police. He admitted to arguments with his wife but framed her disappearance as kidnapping. He cried on camera. The media ate it up. Headlines shifted to cop versus vigilantes. Maya watched in horror as public opinion turned. Elena saw the news and broke down. He's winning. He always wins. The jury surveillance network was exposed when one camera was discovered. Now they were hunted by corrupt cops and the law. Judge admitted, "We underestimated his ability to manipulate the narrative." Clerk discovered something in the encrypted files. Webb's corruption went beyond abuse. He was blackmailing other officers, running a protection racket, skimming money from drug seizures. He had dirt on 30-plus cops, including the chief. This isn't just about Elena anymore. If we expose this, the entire department implodes. But if we don't, Webb walks free and kills again. Rachel, Webb's third victim, watched the news from her psychiatric facility. For the first time in 3 years, she spoke clearly. She contacted a victim's rights attorney who'd been trying to reach her for months. The attorney, suspicious of Rachel's psychotic break diagnosis, investigated and found the jury's anonymous tip about her case. She got Rachel released and brought her to a competing media outlet. Rachel, medicated and coherent, gave a television interview. She detailed her relationship with Webb, the abuse, how she was institutionalized after trying to report him. She had scars, medical records, and most importantly, a flash drive she'd hidden before her breakdown containing Webb's threatening texts. The narrative shifted. Webb's press conference credibility crumbled. After the interview, Rachel received a threatening call. "You just signed your death warrant." The jury realized Webb was so desperate he was threatening witnesses openly. Bailiff made a decision. "We go to the FBI, not the local office, someone Webb can't touch. We have 72 hours until that encryption key releases." Judge contacted his former colleague, Agent Sarah Chun, who'd been investigating police corruption independently. Chun was skeptical. Vigilante justice wasn't legal, and the jury had broken multiple laws. But she reviewed their evidence and confirmed this was prosecutable if handled correctly. The catch: she needed Elena to testify officially, and she needed the jury to surrender their illegally obtained evidence. Judge refused to let Elena go into FBI custody until Webb was arrested. We've seen witness protection fail. Maya brokered a compromise, simultaneous action. FBI raids Webb's house and arrests him the same moment Elena gives her official statement, all before the 72-hour deadline. Agent Chin agreed, but revealed a problem. Webb's captain had been tipped off about the FBI investigation. There was a leak. The captain was currently helping Webb destroy evidence in his home. "If we raid now, we'll get nothing. If we wait, he disappears." The clock showed 48 hours and counting. The jury discovered how the captain knew. Agent Marcus Ford, Chin's colleague, was Webb's cousin and had been feeding him information. The corruption was familial, generational. Clerk hacked Ford's communications and discovered something horrifying. Ford had Elena's safe house location and was planning to raid it with Webb's dirty cops, making it look like a rescue while actually silencing Elena permanently. They had 24 hours. The jury split up. Bailiff and Elena evacuated immediately to a secondary location. Judge and Maya set a trap at the original safe house. They'd catch the dirty cops on camera attempting to harm what they thought was Elena, but was actually a police training dummy with cameras. The fake raid happened. 6 cops, including Webb, stormed the cabin with weapons drawn. Clerk streamed it live to Agent Chun. The cops realized it was a trap too late. Their confessions about eliminating the problem were caught on audio. But Webb wasn't with them. He'd figured out the real location and was heading there. Agent Chin radioed Bailiff. "Webb is 10 minutes from you." Bailiff got Elena to a car, but Webb cut them off on the rural road. Armed standoff. Webb was unhinged, ranting about how Elena destroyed everything, how he'd fix this, and flee to Mexico. He pointed his gun at Elena. For the first time, Elena didn't cower. She stood tall. "You already destroyed yourself. I just survived you. The difference is, I'm still standing, and you're about to fall." Webb hesitated, confused by her strength. Bailiff used the moment to disarm him. Webb fought back, brutal hand-to-hand combat. Elena ran to the car and called 911. This time she said, "I'm Elena Webb. My husband is trying to kill me. Send everyone." Because Agent Chun had coordinated with local police, this call was flagged priority. Webb broke free and shot Bailiff in the shoulder. He aimed at Elena. Police sirens wailed. Webb ran into the woods. Agent Chun arrived, found Bailiff wounded but stable. Webb was now a fugitive. He's going for his escape plan. "We have one chance." Webb fled to his secret backup location, a storage unit under a false name with cash, weapons, and a fake passport. But the jury had anticipated this. Clerk found a rental agreement in his deleted emails. Agent Chin's team surrounded the facility. Webb, realizing he was trapped, took a hostage, a teenage employee named Marcus. Standoff. Webb demanded a helicopter, immunity, and Elena's execution. The FBI negotiator tried to talk him down. Webb ranted into the phone, finally admitting everything. The beatings, the murders, the corruption network, but framed it as justified because weak people need strong hands. Every word was recorded and broadcast. His confession was public, raw, and damning. Webb made a mistake. He got too close to a window while holding Marcus. Judge, positioned outside with a tranquilizer rifle borrowed from a veterinarian friend, took the shot. Webb collapsed. Marcus escaped. The FBI rushed in. Webb was alive, arrested in handcuffs. But as they dragged him away, he looked at the camera and mouthed, "This isn't over. I have insurance." Webb's insurance was revealed. A dead man's switch. If arrested, a file is automatically sent to every corrupt cop in his network, exposing their crimes unless they handled the witnesses. Within hours, Rachel was attacked in her apartment. She survived because her attorney hired private security. Maya's house was burned down. Elena's family received threats. The jury realized taking down one monster activated a dozen more. Agent Chun accelerated the investigation, but arresting 30-plus cops simultaneously required warrants, coordination, and time they didn't have. The network was trying to erase evidence and eliminate threats before the FBI could act. Clerk made a discovery. Webb's insurance file wasn't just blackmail on cops. It included dirt on 2 judges, a state senator, and the district attorney. The corruption went to the top. If we release this, the entire justice system in this county collapses. If we don't, these people will keep protecting each other forever. What do we do? The jury debated through the night. Maya argued for release. The system failed Elena, Rachel, and hundreds of others. It deserves to burn. Judge argued for restraint. Chaos helps no one. We need strategic prosecutions. Elena, listening quietly, made the final decision. Release it. All of it. I didn't survive hell to protect the people who built it. Clerk hit send. The files went to every major news outlet, federal investigators, and social media simultaneously. The story exploded nationally. Widespread police corruption ring exposed by vigilante group. Within 24 hours, the police chief resigned, the district attorney was suspended, 12 officers were arrested, and federal oversight was ordered. But there was blowback. The jury was now wanted for their illegal surveillance methods. Agent Chin called, "Judge, you did the right thing, but you broke the law doing it. I have arrest warrants for all of you. You have 48 hours to turn yourselves in, or you become fugitives." Maya looked at Judge. "We freed Elena and exposed the truth. Was it worth prison?" 6 months later, Webb's trial began. He faced 47 charges across multiple cases. Elena, Rachel, and 2 other survivors who came forward testified. Elena's testimony was powerful. She described every beating, every threat, every moment she thought she'd die. Webb's attorneys tried to discredit her, but the evidence was overwhelming. Recordings, medical records, testimony from his own former colleagues who turned state's witness. Webb sat emotionless until Elena looked directly at him and said, "You told me I was nothing, that no one would believe me. But they do, and you're nothing now." Webb lunged at her. He was restrained by guards. The outburst was caught on camera and went viral. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing, 45 years to life, no parole. Elena cried, not from trauma, but from relief. As Webb was led away, he shouted, "You think this is over? I made calls. People owe me. You'll never be safe." Agent Chin immediately placed Elena in protective custody. 3 of Webb's network members posted bail and disappeared. They planned to ambush Elena at her new apartment, location leaked by the corrupt senator's aide before his arrest. The jury intercepted the plan through the clerk's monitoring. They had 2 choices: let the FBI handle it, which could take days, or intervene directly and face the arrest warrants waiting for them. They chose Elena. Bailiff with his arm in a sling, Judge, Maya, and clerk positioned themselves as Elena's shield. The ambush happened. 3 armed men broke into Elena's apartment. But the jury was waiting. Brutal, efficient fight. Maya used her self-defense training. The judge disarmed one attacker. Bailiff, despite his injury, took down 2. The clerk triggered a signal that brought FBI agents rushing in within minutes. The attackers were arrested. Elena was safe, truly safe. As the jury prepared to be arrested for their vigilante actions, Agent Chen approached with an unexpected offer. The DOJ wants to talk. What you did was illegal, but you exposed something they've been trying to crack for years. The DOJ's offer was detailed. Immunity from prosecution in exchange for testimony against the remaining corrupt officials, plus a 3-year commitment to work with a newly formed task force on police accountability. But there was a catch. They must publicly acknowledge their methods were illegal, which could undermine the evidence they gathered. Maya was hesitant. If we say we broke the law, Webb's lawyers will use that in appeals. Agent Chen countered. Webb's conviction is airtight. We reobtained everything legally after your tips. This is about the other 30 cases. Judge negotiated. They'd take the deal, but only if Elena, Rachel, and the other victims approved. The women met separately. Elena spoke for them all. They saved our lives when no one else would. Whatever they need to do to keep helping others, they have my blessing. As they prepared to sign, the clerk's laptop pinged. Someone accessed Webb's encrypted insurance files supposed to be FBI secured. A message appeared. You took down our network. Now we're taking everything from you. The Brotherhood. Agent Chen traced the hack. It came from inside a federal facility. Someone in law enforcement was still helping Webb's network. The Brotherhood wasn't just dirty cops. It was a nationwide network of officers protecting their own for 20-plus years. Webb was just one cell. Clerk discovered chatter. The Brotherhood had put a $500,000 bounty on the jury members and the victims who testified. Within 24 hours, everyone was relocated to safe houses. But Maya's mother refused to leave. She was 72, stubborn, and didn't believe in hiding from bullies. Maya rushed to her mother's house to convince her. She found her mother sitting calmly at the kitchen table, with judge and bailiff standing guard. Your friends explained everything, Mija. I raised you to stand up for others. I'm not running, and neither are you. That night, the Brotherhood made their first move, but not against the jury. They attempted to kidnap Agent Chen's teenage daughter at her high school. It was thwarted, but the message was clear. Chen, usually stoic, broke down. I can't keep my daughter safe and prosecute these cases. The jury, now working semi-officially with Agent Chen, went on offense. Clerk identified the Brotherhood's leadership, 5 high-ranking officers across 3 states, including a deputy U.S. Marshal. Over 10 days, they orchestrated a coordinated operation, planting trackers, intercepting communications, documenting criminal activity. Elena insisted on helping. I hid for 3 years. I'm done hiding. She acted as a decoy to draw out one target, wearing a wire. The operation was tense, but successful. Maya confronted one Brotherhood member and recorded his confession. He sneered. You think this ends with us? There are hundreds more. Thousands. Just as they prepared to arrest all 5 Brotherhood leaders simultaneously, Clerk discovered something horrifying in their communications. The Brotherhood had a mole inside the DOJ, someone feeding them information about the task force, safe house locations, and witness identities. Before they could identify who, all communications went dark. A message appeared. We know you know. Good luck figuring out who. TB. Agent Chen's phone rang. The DOJ. Chen, bring in the jury immediately. They're being charged with domestic terrorism. The mole was revealed. Assistant Director James Morrison, Agent Chen's mentor, and the person who authorized the jury's consultant status. Morrison was a 30-year veteran, part of the Brotherhood since his rookie days. He used Chen's investigation to identify and warn Brotherhood members while publicly supporting reform to maintain cover. When confronted, Morrison was unapologetic. You think the system works without people like us? We keep order. We protect our own. Your little vigilantes exposed good cops who made mistakes. I'm fixing it. He'd armed federal agents to arrest the jury on trumped-up charges. The jury had 2 hours. The judge made a decision. We split up. Maya, Elena, and Rachel go public. National TV, live interview. Chen, get the evidence to the media, and 3 federal judges. Clerk, bailiff, and I will handle Morrison. Maya and Elena's live interview began, millions watching. Mid-interview, a bomb threat forced evacuation. The broadcast cut to black. Meanwhile, Judge confronted Morrison in a parking garage. Morrison had backup, 3 Brotherhood officers. You should have stayed vigilantes, Morrison said, drawing his weapon. Gunshots echoed. Clerk's laptop showed. Bailiff's signal lost. Judge, signal lost. The confrontation was brutal but brief. Bailiff took 2 bullets to his body armor before disarming one officer. Judge fought Morrison hand-to-hand. Just as Morrison prepared to execute Judge, Agent Shin arrived with the FBI hostage rescue team. She'd anticipated Morrison's move. Morrison and his Brotherhood officers were arrested. The live interview resumed on a different network. Maya, Elena, and Rachel finished their testimony. The response was explosive. Nationwide protests demanding police accountability, federal investigations in 30-plus cities, and whistleblowers from inside the Brotherhood coming forward. 6 months later, Morrison and 47 Brotherhood members were convicted on RICO charges. Webb's sentence was upheld. The DOJ task force, now led by Agent Shun, had investigated 200-plus cases. The jury officially became a non-profit, the People's Jury, training citizens on recognizing police misconduct. Maya sat with Elena at a coffee shop. "Do you think it's really over?" Elena asked. Maya smiled softly. "With Webb? Yes. With systems that protect people like him? That fight never ends." But now, when someone screams for help, people are listening. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number. "My husband is a cop. He's beating me. Can you help?" Maya looked at Elena. They exchanged a knowing glance. The cycle of justice continues. One case at a time. One survivor at a time.